What's up, everybody? Welcome to another show, Jammin with J Money. It's Tuesday. We back trying to get some cash, man. We're gonna recap yesterday's plays from the Monday NBA card and show, and then we're gonna get to today's games, NBA playoffs. We're ready to get to some cash, man. That's my guy Jordan Sharp. That's my guy Junior Browne. Make sure y'all go to SBR Picks /NBA to check out all the odds that we have over there. Make sure you line shop, and we have plenty of articles over there for whatever sports you like. We got free picks galore over there. What's up, Jordan? Everything good with you, brother? How was your day yesterday?
Good day, 1-0. It's always a good day when you go undefeated, regardless if you got one win or 20. And we got the first half over on the Clippers in the Denver game. Thank God that the Spirit swayed me yesterday talking to you guys that I locked in that bet when I did. I felt pretty good about that one. It was just a lean going into the show, but talking to you guys and figuring out you guys were what you guys were on and seeing if that correlated led me to make that play. So thanks to you as well for convincing me of that. As of the other game, Boston and Toronto, that basically was not even fun to watch at all. And when the Raptors score 11 points in the first quarter and come out like they did, the rest of that game pretty much showed what the effort they brought out in that first quarter. Also, on behalf of all of us here at Jammin with J Money, I would like to offer my apologies to Brad Wanamaker and any of his stands out there. There might have been some perceived slander yesterday of Brad Wanamaker on this program, and that was quickly remedied last night with his big performance off the bench. So that was good to see. I feel a little sorry for Junior because he said he was going to slam Boston and then ended up not. So I don't know. I'm kind of interested to see what you have to say about that game, Junior. But good day for me when you go 1-0.
Yeah, that's what I get for second guessing myself, to be honest with you. I'm just glad I didn't ended up, going with the Raptors because like I said, I just didn't see enough to make me think that they're going to win 3 times in a row. Did I think that they were going to look like corpses on the court? No, I didn't think that either. I need an APB on Pascal Siakam. Seems like Pascal Siakam turned into playoff DeRozan somehow in the last month. That shit is weird as hell to watch, to be honest. Nick Nurse even seems like he's sick of it because after the game, he's like, I don't know what's wrong with him. There's no explanation. It makes no sense. So when your coach is saying that, usually coaches are pretty diplomatic in the press. Nick Nurse has kind of had it. No excuses though. Congratulations to Boston. That was an old school. If I wish, I mean, I'm not an asshole like that. I was gonna post a picture of my brother watching the game. He looked like he was at a funeral, son. Like that was bad. But I lost my one official play yesterday. I had Clippers first half. They were kind of messing around in the first half. I got them in the second half, -6, but obviously that's not an official play on the show because we don't do second halves here. So 0-1 yesterday, looking to bounce back today. Interested to see your guys' takes on today's games. Jay, how was your day yesterday?
It was a good day. Many people, you know me, I had to hop on the Celtics. That's just, if it was a personal play. It's just me, like I say, every time I tell everybody to go with the Raptors game, they seem to be my kryptonite. That's why I don't really talk about the game that much. I don't even say the word Raptors. I really just call them Toronto. When I bet on Toronto, they go and lay an egg. When I bet against them, they like the best team in the NBA. So I kind of really just stay away from, giving out plays on their games. But if you guys know me, talk the whole series, especially when Teddy comes on, you know that I was going to be on the Celtics in Game 5. So I love to see the Raptors go out there and get throttled yesterday. That's just me as a fan. You guys know that I'm not a Toronto guy whatsoever. No disrespect to my guy Junior, but I cannot stand the Raptors. Way before we doing the show, I can't stand the Raptors. They took so much of my money. So me personally, I love to see that. I watched the game twice. I loved every second of it. 11 points in the first quarter. The Celtics came out. That's the Celtics team that we're supposed to see in Game 4. So I'm not gonna say too much about it, but yeah, the Celtics took them boys out to the woodshed and give them an old-fashioned ass whooping, smack them up 111-89. The Clippers, they look like they playing out there with the Nuggets there. I lost on the first half there as well. Glad I didn't take the first quarter. Clippers are just terrible in the first quarter, man. Even though they was up by 5 points there, they always let the Nuggets make a late run. So they didn't catch the first quarter, which I wasn't on. They didn't catch the first half either. It was just pretty crazy how that game was going, man. The Nuggets, they're like they want to win the game. I thought the Clippers supposed to come out with motivation after you get smacked up, and that did not happen. I mean, they didn't cover the full game as well. I'm glad that I stayed off to the full game, but that was the one that they actually had the best chance of covering. So the Clippers did not cast the first half. They don't cast the first quarter, first half, or full game. So, I mean, I know it wasn't just me. There was a lot of people was thinking that Clippers going to come back with motivation yesterday, and I don't know, man. It doesn't look like the championship contender to me, but I don't know. Like I've been telling people lately, this NBA bubble shit. I mean, I've never seen anything like this. If you guys out there making huge bets every game, man, more power to you, bro. This is an NBA bubble. You never know what the hell you're gonna get, man. And I'm gonna let that bring us into this first game today. We got the Heat versus the Bucks here. And don't get it twisted. Giannis is probably not going to play. He left the last game in the walking boot. You got Hero that's questionable now. You got Kelly Olynyk is questionable once again. Jay Crowder questionable. What are we going to get here? So the last thing I'm going to say about, well, I ain't say last thing, but Jordan, I just had a crazy thought the other day. So we know no team's ever come back from 0-3. Wouldn't it be the 2020 thing for it to be the first time ever somebody come back from 0-3? I'm not saying it's going to happen or they're going to win today, but I just got to thinking, like, we've seen some crazy shit this year. Why wouldn't it? My girls, like, they're the best team in the NBA. They're not just finna get swept. Woo-woo-woo. What do you know? They win the last game. Giannis probably not going to play. The Bucks, they looked better without him. I don't know. I'm staying away. What you got, Jordan? What you think here?
I'm staying far away from this game, but I agree. I think there kind of is some credence to the fact that Milwaukee definitely has the talent on paper to come back from this, even without Giannis. I mean, that obviously makes it a mountain that's 10 times harder to climb, but it's not insurmountable here. We've seen the Heat kind of lapse at times, but the Heat so far through like the last, I want to say like, let's say 5 playoff games for them, have looked like one of the best teams in the league. Like one of the consistency and everything. You're right, the banged up right now, but I think they're looking at that more as we got this in the bag. I'm never one to fade Jimmy Butler in a situation like this. Milwaukee needed to force overtime to win to not get swept in Game 4. If Giannis doesn't play, I could see Miami just stepping on their necks in this one too. So it's hard for me to make a play on this because I could see both outcomes. If I had to make a play on this game, I might chase the under here, but the steam's been hitting it on the over so far, which is a little confusing because I think you'd think Giannis being out would make that go under. But like you said, they tend to move the ball a little bit better when he's not on the court, it seems like. And with Middleton being the lead guy, he has no problem either scoring a bunch or deferring and getting guys open shots. So it's hard for me to play the spread on this one. Like I said, if I had a bet on the under, it'd probably be on the under here if Giannis is completely out. But like you said, there's so much uncertainty in this game right now, especially in a playoff atmosphere like this, in a closeout game for Miami here. Very hard for me to fade either team right now on the spread.
Got you. What you think, Junior? You land the 4.5 with the Heat here?
I got it pretty early though. I took this game at -3.5, and I am laying the points with the Heat. I think they end the series tonight. If they don't end the series tonight, first of all, they're wasting an opportunity to get some of their guys rest. And when I say rest, not to say that they're tired, but they've had guys that have nagging injuries, just to get them guys an extra couple of days off. But also, you just don't want to give the Bucks life. If we just think about throughout the course of the season, and we discussed this on the show quite a few times, we've seen the Bucks smack teams up without Giannis during the regular season. We've seen that. So for them to win the last game, unless you're not paying attention to the NBA, it's not shocking. It's surprising because they didn't really have any momentum, and you figure they lose the league MVP, they're not going to play well, but they just showed us that they had some pride. But Chris Middleton played 48 minutes in the last game. Brook Lopez, old ass, played 42. I mean, he's not that old, but he's not a young guy. He played 42 minutes in the last game. Eric Bledsoe played 40 minutes in the last game. It's going to be really hard for these guys to repeat that performance against a Miami team who really spreads out their minutes between their main guys. None of their guys play really heavy minutes. Jimmy Butler and Dragic really, really struggled from the field in that last game. I just don't think that happens again. I think Miami comes out really aggressive with the mentality and kind of led by Jimmy Butler in the sense that he has to be relaying this message to the team. You can't give a team like this life. You have to step on their necks, do it early, because if the Bucks win this game now, is anyone going to be surprised it goes 7 if the Bucks win this game and all of a sudden Giannis's boot, all of a sudden he don't need a boot no more and he coming back and all types of foolishness? You don't want that. If Giannis is not playing today, send his ass and the rest of their asses home. Tell them to go. What's that Rick Ross song? Santorini, Greece. Tell Giannis to go to Santorini and catch some sun with his girl. Get out of here. It's enough of the Bucks.
Yeah, it's a crazy game to me. Like I said, I've been thinking about a whole lot of scenarios. Obviously, we know that Giannis probably doesn't want to play for the Bucks anymore, and maybe that has the rest of the team like, you know what? Fuck you then. We gonna go and win this motherfucking anyway. I got all type of thoughts going on. I can see all type of scenarios playing. Don't like that Hero and Crowder's questionable. There's no way I'm betting on the Heat until I know for a fact that they're in. I could tell you that for damn sure. But Giannis, I mean, you don't have to wait for that news. He's not playing. He left in a walking boot last game. He was already injured. He gave it all to play, and then you see him get injured again. You don't want to tear some ligaments. Giannis probably not playing, but you definitely want to see if Hero or Crowder playing. Olynyk, maybe not that big of a deal, but I'm not laying the points with the Heat here. It is a closeout game. I mean, I do see a bit of complacency coming from the Heat. Another thing I'm thinking about: do the Heat want to be off with all the rest? Is it a rest over rhythm thing, or do you want this one to go? I mean, you never want the series to go on, but it's like I was just thinking one day, like, damn. So if they 4-0 them, then you sitting not at the house, but you sit in the hotel room. You don't have nothing to do for maybe even a week, especially seeing how the Toronto Boston series might go 7 games. Why not make it go a few more games? I just say this is me thinking. Make it go a few more games. That way you're not necessarily rusty in the first game of your next that's just me thinking. Like I said, I don't have anything on this game. I'm not talking anybody out of the Heat. In theory, they should smash them without Giannis. But when I tell you the Bucks, they seem like they had got a little shot in the arm whenever they weren't playing with Giannis. And I think if you watch the games, you know that. I think that the pace picked up as well. The fourth quarter was really, I mean, the game could have still went under if it wasn't for overtime. But if you say in that third quarter, they had scored like 70-some points. They really picked up the pace. I agree with the over money that's coming in here. Jordan, any last thing you had to say about the total here?
I like I said, that my first instinct was the under, but I'm not going to go against the steam here in this situation. I think this late in the playoffs, I would trust it a little bit more than we maybe say like earlier in the regular season bubble games, the seeding games. I will say this: I kind of agree with what you said, Jay, but I think that probably already applies to them losing this last game. I think Eric Spoelstra in this, and that's another thing we really haven't talked about, I think, as much in this series, if not lately, is that he has a lot more experience in these types of situations. And I think he's probably, him and Jimmy Butler are probably both preaching to the rest of that group, like, we have to knock these guys out now, because I think they would value, the veterans at least on that squad will probably value the rest and getting a little healthier heading into the Eastern Conference Finals. So like I said, I think that for me, like, overwhelmingly, the situation points to Miami being the winner here in this game, but the spread's just gotten so much higher that it's hard to bet on them right now, like you said, until you know if their guys are healthy.
Check the refs. That's the shit that I've been on lately. I don't care what nobody say. This NBA is way too damn political. You better check the refs. That's the last thing I'm going to say. One last question for you, Junior. Would you still feel comfortable with the Heat if Hero and Crowder was ruled out?
It would make me nervous because if you've been watching the games, Kendrick Nunn was the starting point guard for the Heat. Tyler Hero's taking all Kendrick Nunn's minutes. Obviously, Dragic has moved back into the starting lineup, but that you would think means that Nunn becomes his backup. As far as I can tell from watching the games, Tyler Hero's become their second primary. You know what I'm saying? Like, Dragic is the primary ball handler. And I don't know if you guys disagree. Tyler Hero looks like he's moved into that number 2 spot. His handle is way better than anything I saw at Kentucky. To go along with that knockdown jumper, I think he's going to be he has future all-star potential if he keeps growing. But I guess I'm answering the question without answering it. Yes, I would be very nervous if Tyler Hero don't play. Not so much Olynyk, obviously, but Hero has become a really big part of what they do. I think, though, that to also answer the question that you didn't really ask me, but you asked Jordan, I think this kind of has to play towards the under. That's just Miami's. That's in Miami's wheelhouse. That's how they've gotten to where they are. The pace gets slower in every single game, which is kind of crazy. But one thing that actually made me kind of lean to Miami and just go ahead and take them in this game is that even though they lost the last game, and Dragic and Butler struggled offensively, they still managed to put up points. You know what I mean? Like it's not like they couldn't score; they just couldn't get the stops when they needed to get stops. So I think they fixed that today. Take care of business and wait for the winner of the Celtics Raptors. Is looking like it's probably going to be the Celtics. That'll be a 6 series, though. I know that.
Got you, got you. Yep. So we got the line moving all over the place right now. 3.5, some spots, 4.5 at Heritage. So, like I always say, make sure you know what I'm saying. Look at the injury news, man. The line can go either way with a few injuries are there. I mean, if you like the Heat, maybe if you like the Heat, you might want to bet them now. They still got a couple injuries, but the Giannis news isn't technically official yet. He's game time, but I'm here to tell you that he is not freaking playing. He's not excited to play for the Bucks anyway. He's definitely not excited to go out there and get injured. So he's not. You might not see him the rest of this series. I mean, it could end tonight, but if the Bucks do win, you probably still wouldn't see him next game. Then if it goes 7, Giannis is back. I don't care. I don't care what nobody say. I'm here for this shit. I'm not betting this game. I'm here for the Bucks to come back and win this series and be to go 1 and 139 against being down 0-3. This is 2020. I've seen the craziest shit happen. I'm here for this shit to see the Bucks win tonight. Not betting them, but I am rooting for them boys tonight. Next game. We got no offense to you, Junior. No offense to you, Junior. It's just I want to see history be made, man.
No, bro.
See that shit.
No, I appreciate it too. Yeah, no, it's fine. I'm here for all of it.
It's no disrespect to you. Not saying I hope you lose your bet. I want this because 2020 has been a crazy year, and my girl, she just really had me think about something. Like, they were the number 1 team in the league, right? Wouldn't it be, you know what I'm saying, good for them to come back and win? Wouldn't it be good for the league? I don't know. That shit just had me thinking, man. I mean, it's people in the chat saying I'm overthinking. It could be. I don't force bets, man. I'm cool with not making, but I just watch the game and be a fan today. Let's get to this Lakers game, man. Lakers versus Rockets. Damn good game, man. Lakers favored by 5 here. I know McGee went out last game, had to walk up. That's tough. They got to make them guys walk up this long-ass ramp when they injure their ankle or something. Got guys hopping up on one leg and shit, man. McGee left the last game with an ankle injury. Deion Waiters, he pretty much just come in when it's blowout time anyway. He is doubtful. Anthony Davis, headed to the locker room once again, but he returned. He's good to go. Look like they starting to get Junior. I see you shaking your head. What you think about this one, my guy? You think the Lakers take it again? Well, I gotta say this, Junior. Lakers got up by 21, and then you let the Rockets come back and then take a 5-point lead. How the hell does that happen?
Yeah, I just think that if we're just going to just use logic, Russell Westbrook and Eric Gordon had more shots than James Harden in that last game. You have to figure that D'Antoni's going to do something about that, because if that happens again, it's going to get ugly. And I won't even waste my time slandering Westbrook. Y'all know how I feel about him. He has to show up for them to have a chance, because I don't know if you guys noticed this in game 2, and maybe I'm wrong. It seemed like the Lakers were kind of like, all right, Russ, you not drop, like, Russ is the only guy that D'Antoni allows to take these medium range inside the 3-point line in between shots. And the Lakers looked like they cut off Russell Westbrook's driving lanes and forced him to shoot jumpers, and he kind of just fell for it. It was just jacking up shots. So D'Antoni's got to figure out a couple things on how to get Westbrook free and how to get Harden free. Harden took 8 threes last game, and Westbrook took 7. All of these things don't make any type of sense whatsoever. I'm going to tell you all this, though. Do y'all remember the game? And I don't remember what game it was. It was the game that ended, I think it was against OKC, where Westbrook had a bunch of turnovers in late in the game, and they ended up losing. They kind of just threw the game away. And I think it was Jay. You were like, why does Westbrook have the ball in his hands? I kind of don't like how James Harden sometimes is just like, you know what, Russ? You take over right now. I'm gonna stand over here and kind of just.
It's fishy as hell.
I hate that shit.
It's fishy, Junior. Not to cut you off, Junior. That shit is fishy as hell. I don't care what nobody say. When Harden did that last game, Harden didn't even want the ball, bro. When you talking about that game versus OKC when it was game 6 and it seemed like they wanted to force a game 7, Harden was like, no, Westbrook, I know that you're going to piss it off. We're just going to let you have the ball because that's our way of losing this game on purpose. I don't give a damn what nobody say, man. I seen it. That is not Harden's body language to not even want the ball. Come on, this is James Harden we talking about, Junior. Sorry, bro. I had to say this.
No. I agree with you 100%, and that's why I kind of just need to sit back and watch. We saw one team win game 1. We saw another team win game 2. If you're asking me, do I see a pattern? Not really. I see the Rockets were able to not shut down because AD didn't play terrible, but PJ Tucker kind of handled AD in the first game. Vogel's smart enough to start putting AD deeper in the post where you just turn around and shoot over him. The Lakers made adjustments in game 2. The Rockets will probably make adjustments in game 3. I think this is going to be a zigzag series that probably goes 7 games, to be honest with you. I'm just staying away from it because I always try to pick a spot or pick bet an advantage. I just don't see an advantage for either team right here. And if whoever wins this game at the end of tonight, I will not be surprised. And if you're surprised, then you're seeing something I'm not, I guess.
Jordan, I love something that Junior said there. Betting when you have an advantage. Betting when you have an advantage. God, I'm going to take my guts off. Bet when you have an advantage. You don't have to just bet. If you like having action, just having bets, I can't talk you out of it. It's your money. But when you're trying to get like to a professional status or really trying to win all your bets, you only bet when you really feel like you have an edge. If don't, what's wrong with not betting? I feel like there's no problem with it. And really, a lot of people have a problem with just going a day without not betting. I have a problem with that. I mean, I guess when you come and ask me forcing bets and shit, but all right, I'm sorry, Jordan. I'm putting my glass back on. What you think about this game? Lakers versus Rockets. Lakers favored by 5 here.
No, you're good. I completely agree with you guys. I do think that this is a little bit of a little bit too long on the Lakers here. I'm seeing a little bit of money come back in on the Rockets right now. It seems like 5s and there's some 4.5s popping up on this one too. So wouldn't be surprised to see that continue just a little bit because you're right. This does get that feeling of the punch counter punch type of series where one team has to make that key 1 or 2 adjustments to get the win after losing the last game. And I think the Rockets, like the answer to the Russell Westbrook issue right now for them is just this. I think like you guys touched on it, it's just shot selection. And I think D'Antoni is smart enough and a good enough offensive mastermind here to kind of figure out ways to get them open, especially now like if JaVale McGee doesn't play.
Oh, yeah. He's
been really good defensively for them clogging up the middle. If that forces them to go small, you're playing right into the Rockets' hands, I think, with AD playing center and matching up with PJ Tucker because we know PJ Tucker's actually been one of the only Rockets that have been as effective on him as they can be in this series. So if I had to make a play on this game, like you guys said, I think I'd probably take the Rockets in the under here, go with the dog, and hopefully they can lock down defensively. I think earlier on in the game you more likely get the lower scores than later on in the game, but. The key to this one, it's been everybody's got a hot take about it, but the key to this one is just Russ being able to attack the basket, get to the free throw line, not turn the ball over, and be the guy that's getting assists for them. And like I said, if that's him and James Harden playing pick and roll or figuring it out one way or the other, they have to because he has to be getting to the free throw line. It's just if I think it's been I haven't looked at his game logs lately, but I think I would definitely say the Rockets have way more wins than losses when he gets to the free throw line and has double-digit assists. Like it's not so much about scoring for him, and I think that's what everybody with a hot take about Russell Westbrook gets wrong. It's not so much like that they don't have enough offense if he's not scoring. It's just he needs to just get to the free throw line and cause chaos and play defense and get out in passing lanes and get on and lead the fast break. That's when they're at their most success. Right. The Lakers were able to counter that in game 2. If they get back to doing that in game 3, I like the Rockets here. It's just I'm a little hesitant right now.
Now you
Can I say something real quick, Jay?
Say what you gotta say, my guy.
I'll be real quick. Something I didn't like about what I saw from the Rockets is that in the first quarter, the Lakers basically ran them off the court. If you let another team run you off the court playing with your style, that was a real problem. The Lakers outscored them 16-2 on the fast break. And I think that the Rockets, if I'm D'Antoni, I come out like that if I'm the Rockets and see if the Lakers could do that again. Because between me and you, Markieff Morris went 4 for 4 from the three-point line in the first quarter. Let's not pretend like that's going to happen again. Like he went nuts in that first quarter, and I think that the Rockets had a hard time recovering from that. Even though they did get back into the game, they expended so much energy trying to get back into the game that they ran out of gas at the end. So I just think that they need to push the pace to start off this game, in my opinion.
Exactly. And Rondo was hitting threes as well. When you got Morris and Rondo hitting back-to-back threes and shit, yeah, anybody, if I'm out there on the court, I'm like, damn, bro, Rondo hitting threes, damn, it ain't our night. But, yeah, I mean, the Rockets so you said something there, Junior, when the Rockets come out and get blitzed. So we knew that the Lakers had I'm going to kind of go back to the Clippers here. The Lakers had the motivation in the game. That's what they were supposed to do. One thing I don't like with the Lakers, you can't get up 21 points and show me that you're the type of team, not only that'll piss the lead away and get it down to 7 or 5, because that's still alarming. You let them boys take the lead by 5 points. I'm watching the game with my son, and my son like, the Lakers finna lose. I'm like, what? They were just up by 21. And so, I mean, they came out there with a huge third quarter. I don't know what they talked about at halftime, but it seemed to work. And it was a whole different game in the third quarter. I mean, in the second half. So if they could bring that tonight, they'll have a shot to win this game. If they look like they did in the first half, obviously they'll get smacked up again. I do feel like this is a zigzag series. I don't love the Rockets tonight like I did in the first game, but I do like them tonight, plus the 5, just because I think they're going to be obviously motivated enough for the win, and I'm catching points. Lakers come out here and win this game by 2-3 points, and we still get the cash. You know what I'm saying? That's the thing you have to remember when you're taking the dog. In these zigzag in the series that we think that is going to be zigzag. If this is zigzag, the Rockets should be going for the win here tonight. Westbrook and Harden pretty much up. I ain't gonna say all night, but they were up till late last night watching film on how they could be better. You know what I'm saying? Not with the team, just them two. So we know if they double team Harden, the other guys got to get open. If they're hitting their threes, Rockets will look good. If not, then they might get blown out. And you said something there, Jordan. If McGee is not in there, that's a big part of what the Lakers do. That's what they kind of use as their advantage with the rebound and then having a defensive anchor down there. If Anthony Davis is the 5 now, you said it, Jordan, they're playing into the Rockets' hands. So it'd be interesting to see. And lately, I've been really into this shit, looking into the refs, man, because I really do think it. I got to do more research on this one, on how Mark Davis, but he is like the main ref in this one. So I got to go and see Pat. You got Pat Frere, Mark Davis, and Trey Maddox here. They do seem to. It do seem to all be home ATS. I got to look into it different as far as the refs. I just looked at that, but still, McGee possibly being out with a hurt ankle, he might not play here. I think that will help out the Rockets. But like I say, zigzag. I think it might be a little bit of 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 Rockets tonight. I think they're gonna take off, but it's not a big play for me. I was all over them game 1, but I might have to make a little small play on the Rockets tonight. I don't love it though. I'll tell you that. What you think? What you think about that, Jordan? We was on the Rockets in game 1. What you think, bro? They showed some fight.
If there's one play I am taking today, because I haven't made an official play today, but if you're forcing me to make an official one, it would absolutely be with the Rockets here. Because I was originally coming into this on the under, but then of this game as kind of my main lean for today. But the issue with McGee and the fact that Junior was talking about, you and Junior both said that they could come out. Houston could really come out. LA's been already playing real fast in first quarters. We could see both these teams drop 30 plus points in the first quarter, and then an underplay could potentially be ruined down the road because of it. Rockets, if McGee's out, that might convince me to jump on the 5 points here because like I just said earlier, it's just that would help Houston out so much because the Lakers would have almost no chance. Dwight Howard's not going to be able to play more than 20 minutes a game. So even if they do want to go big, it's not going to be for long stretches. It's not going to be likely not going to be down the stretch. If that happens, I do like Houston here. If we can get Russell Westbrook back to attacking the basket, getting some driving lanes and kicking out for 3-pointers and getting to the free throw line, that would also help out a lot.
Oh yeah, one thing I can almost guarantee, I can't guarantee you, Junior, but I can tell you Russell Westbrook's not taking all them shots tonight. He knows that it was on him. Even the coach come out. I mean, the coach didn't just say, "Hey, that's him," but we just say, "Hey, that's Russell Westbrook. That's what we get from him." But they was leaving him open, and he was hitting the shots in game 1. So game 2, he probably thought they was gonna fall again, and they didn't. So this one, you got to go to the hole. Can't nobody stop Russell Westbrook from getting to the rack, bro. I'm telling you, bro. You can't stop him from getting to the hole. So he got to go in there every time. And the Rockets, they got to do what they do, live at the foul line. We got to see if the refs on our side tonight, man. That goes a long way in today's NBA. It's about being on the right side, though. That's the only thing that matters. What's up, Junior? What you got, my guy?
Yeah, I just think that, instead of slandering Westbrook, I'm just going to say that if he plays under control and he plays like the best version of himself, the Rockets can win this game. The Rockets, all of the signs point to the Rockets bouncing back just for the simple fact that if you watch that game, they really went cold in the first quarter and the fourth quarter. In the middle 2 quarters, they were getting whatever they want. I think that if they can just work out how to get Harden more shots, because here's the thing. There's a world where the Rockets could have Russ be the primary ball handler and have Harden come off a couple screens. I know that's not how they play. Trust me. Harden scores the most unassisted baskets in the NBA. But just switch it up a little bit. Why can't you give James Harden a screen? Does he have to be Superman every single time? You know what I'm saying? Just switch it up. Even if you do it for 1 quarter, just give the Lakers a different look. Because like I said, if James Harden takes the 3rd most shots on your team, which is what happened in game 2, you lost. I'm telling you that right now. You're going to lose. So y'all need to figure out how to get James Harden his proper amount of shots. And like I said, hopefully for them, Westbrook plays under control because as much as I slander him, when he's under control, he's really hard to stop. So there's nobody on the Lakers that can guard him right now. Nobody. So you know what I'm saying? They just need him to show up. If he would have showed up in game 2, they probably would have won that game, to be honest.
Yeah, a few less shots. Shit, they was up by 5 in the fourth quarter.
Yeah.
They was up 95-90, bro. I remember. Obviously, Lakers had to take a timeout. I couldn't believe my eyes when I saw the boys up 5. I really thought that the Lakers, because I know a few of my guys, I know Teddy was on the Lakers, so I mean, I'm rooting for him. I'm like, damn, I know Teddy over there pissed, and boys and Pistons lead away, but they came back, and the Rockets still could have possibly covered with a last shot there, but James Harden, respectful, just, you know what I'm saying, just dribble it out. But I was like, oh, shit, what's going to happen? They up by 8. What if somebody, you know what I'm saying? But it should be crazy like that. But it's crazy. Just the last thing I got to say about this game, I almost, because a lot of people thought the Rockets was going to run out of gas in the first game. I really feel like they have spent a lot of energy in that game. Then kind of sort of in the first half, that you kind of see that they was tired in that game. Then kind of in game 2, they kind of started coming on. In the second half, they started coming on. Think this one, Rockets gonna have a little bit fresher legs tonight, man. Like, it's the only way I could look in this game. There's nothing large for me, anything. I see a bunch of Laker fanboys in the chat. Of course, they're gonna ride with their Lakers every game. I don't know if the Lakers can do it back to back. To be honest with you, I look at this team like a Clippers team. It takes them like to have a loss or to come and get punched in the mouth for them to come out motivated. Came out motivated game. Like, they were supposed to do that. I'm not surprised. You're supposed to come out there and smack them up in the first quarter after you going down 0-1 and you being one of the main championship favorites. So it's the only way I could look at this game is Rockets plus the points. They're going for the win and they're catching points. It's the only way I could look at the 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 liftoff Rockets tonight. So yeah, and Jordan, I had to say one. I'm not forcing you to make a play, my guy. You don't have to make nothing official. If you don't like it, we only going with strong bets here. I know me. I don't like losing my money, man. So like I say. If only way I'm betting on is if I'm really I'm surprised if I lose, man. So, Junior, you want to recap with your plays, or if you got any leans as well, or any totals, my guy, before we get out of here, brother?
Nah, trying to just keep it simple. I just think the Miami Heat have no choice but to handle business tonight. I got them at -3.5, and I'm riding with that. I think Jimmy Buckets and Goran come to play today, and Chris Middleton. And listen, I got to show some respect to Chris Middleton because this is the best he's looked as a playoff player. I wasn't sure if he could handle the pressure. He was pretty trash last year against the Raptors in the Eastern Conference Finals, but he's done his job, and they ain't losing because of Chris Middleton. I tell you that. Sure. So just want to pay some respect to him, but I just think it's asking too much for him to lead a playoff team against a team as deep as this Heat roster is.
Gotcha. I appreciate you giving him. He ain't my guy, but I appreciate you giving him respect because Chris Middleton takes a lot of slander. Wrong, he takes a lot. Well, no, I wouldn't even say that. I'm just saying, I appreciate when people give credit where it's due because Middleton takes a lot of slack on that team. A lot of people don't even say that he's the number 2 over there, that he's not a good enough number 2. And I'm glad that you said that. If they do lose, where it hadn't been because of him, he's been doing his part. Jordan, I know you said you're a play already, but just one more time for the people before we get out of here. Any leans on any totals, first half, anything, and what you leaning towards today, my guy? Yeah,
all good. Also, I'd like to jump in on the Chris Middleton discussion just for a second. I'd like for anybody to prove me wrong on this statement that he's a top 20 player in the NBA. I don't think you can refute that at all. If he's the lead guy on that Bucks team, he'd be averaging like 27, 28 points a game. That dude's already proven that he's a baller. But nothing official yet. But on that game and on the Lakers-Houston, if McGee's out, I am going to jump on that 5 points with Houston tonight. I think that plays right into their hands. I think the counterpunch narrative is there. So I haven't locked anything. Nothing in my pocket just yet. But Houston will be if we get some negative news on JaVale McGee's ankle.
Exactly. That's exactly what I do, Jordan. I'll be waiting until sometimes I'll hop on stuff overnight, but lately, man, I've been hopping on it right before I hit there. And you know what? That's what the professionals do, man. They go right before. I'm talking about 5 minutes before the game. They got all the info, everything. They know who all the bets on, everything. Then they go and hammer their ass. So pay attention to these lines right before the game start. That's when you're starting to see some real money come in. Like the stuff I look at, I'm talking about real money. I'm talking about like 30 bands on games. That's the type of shit shit that I'm on. So I did. The article play was on Heat first quarter today. The article play was on Heat first quarter today, minus the half. So y'all know what we're trying to do. We're trying to get some cash. You know what I'm saying? We're going to every single day we trying to get some cash. I don't like losing, man. And I come here pissed off. I'm sure I could tell. I don't like losing, man. I'm sure that's why y'all come and check us out every day. Y'all hit the like button and subscribe if you guys like the content. Only 2 games today. We're going to have more tomorrow. You know what I'm saying? It's going to have some real nice opinions tomorrow as well, man. Y'all come back and holler at us. We appreciate y'all for jamming with J Money.